forever. We should not be forced to pollute the ocean every time we eat, drink, or go shopping. We need to be given a choice, a plastic-free choice. This is not hard to imagine. Indeed, some responsible companies are already leading the way. There are throwaway plastic-free aisles in supermarkets. Beverage companies already offer plastic-free soda and salsa water. Restaurants offer plastic-free service. There are plastic-free rooms in hotels. An airline is now offering a plastic-free flight. And Oceania and our allies are winning plastic-free victories. Following campaign by Oceania, Peru passed a law that keeps plastic out of national parks and beaches. Belize is getting rid of styrofoam. And the European Union has mandated reductions for throwaway plastic throughout its 28 member countries. But with your help, we can do more. Together, we can create a movement to reduce throwaway plastic. We can make sure we're all given real plastic-free choices. We can help our cities, towns, schools, and workplaces establish zones that are free of throwaway plastic. Let's stop plastic pollution from wrecking our beaches and our oceans, and have healthy oceans that delight and sustain us for generations to come. Please join our campaign.
So,
Oceania.
what have you seen?
/plastic.
Back to the question. Where do we start now? I don't know you've seen something. What have you seen? Where? You know, let's go to the party. Msichana mwenye nywele imesimama hivi. Where? We start from the ladies now. What have you seen? Or that you are not able to see from there, isn't it? Okay, any lady, you have seen something here? What have you seen? Okay, stand as you say. When you slip jacket, look at your hebu simama tusikie. Nataka kusikia sauti. Umeona nini? Good morning. Great. Mklapie. Mwingine msaidie. Mwenye ameona kitu kingine angalia. Totomis.
For me, I saw fish.
You saw fish. I know you like fish. Another one. What did you see? Did you see something? What did you see? Great. He saw every stand and say it well because it's a beautiful thing. Plastic pollution where? In the ocean. Clap for her. That is the topic of that. Who again, kama huyu anaweza kusema, sembuse huyu. Huyu alafu Michael.
More than 60% of mountains and men in the ocean have been affected by the plastic pollution in the oceans.
Beautiful. Clap for him. Michael.
So, microplastic that are found in and that use beer and even salt.
Clap for Michael. Michael, use beer. So, what are microplastics? Small pieces of plastic. Even this water here, people keep on rushing to the bottled water. I encourage you to drink the other one. Because after some time you see some residues here. Have you ever noticed? The processes that make them, after some time you have some, those are the microplastics. And when this bottle is crushed and it goes into water or somewhere else, those pieces, they end up somewhere else. Maybe when it is raining and some of the pieces are on the roof that where you're tapping water, Those ones go into your tank, eventually you drink them in. So if you throw this one away, it will come back to affect you. Like today, I saw some of you throwing, what did you throw before I say? This time when you were eating bread, you were busy with the bread swallowing, and then where are the covers? Where are those plastics? Where did you put them? Why the dustbin? I saw someone throwing somewhere there. That thing will end up again, and then you will drink it somewhere or you will eat it somewhere. So there is always a recycling of the same thing. What you throw out and thinking that you have thrown it away from you, it is coming back to you. That's how the plastics behave. Anything else someone has seen? Yeah.
About 17,000 billion of plastics are being thrown in the ocean yearly.
And do you know how the number of 1 billion, just one, if you get 1 billion shillings, can you continue the school? Utaacha kitambo, hata utaonekana. Utaanza tu sijui unatoa milioni 10, hiyo hata sio pesa. But then, we continue with another one, just to make sure that you know everything that it does. The problem with plastic.
My name is Jacqueline. I'm the manager of Conservation Partnerships and Program here at Shedd Aquarium. One of the biggest threats to our rivers, lakes, and oceans today is plastic pollution. We find a lot of single-use plastics in the water, and this is a big threat to animals. They can accidentally become entangled in it, they can swallow it or eat it, and if an animal eats plastic, it can make their stomach feel full, so they actually stop eating and they can starve to death that way. So single-use plastics are things like soda bottles, water bottles, plastic packaging, things that are only used one time and then tossed out. But when we throw it away, where does it go? It ends up in a landfill, or it may end up in the environment or in the water, lakes, rivers, and those single-use plastics can be a detriment to animals. Since plastic never actually biodegrades, it remains in the environment for hundreds of years as toxic microparticles and can be consumed by animals at all levels of the food web. A recent study looked at 25 Great Lakes fish species to see if there were plastics in their system, and all 25 of those species did have plastics. Single-use plastics are not a new threat to healthy water. We are using single-use plastics increasingly more and more in our day-to-day lives. Global plastic production has increased by 620% since 1975, and much of that is for single-use products. An important thing that we can do is practice the 4 R's. That's reduce, reuse, recycle, and refuse. You can actually turn down single-use plastics. As consumers, we have a lot of power. We can bring reusable materials to use in our daily lives. We can bring reusable bags and water bottles, and we can really show companies what's important to us. You can be part of it. You can be part of the solution and help to improve the situation. So about 80% of plastic that ends up in water, whether it's in the rivers, lakes, or oceans, comes from the land and is carried into our water systems and can really accumulate there. And so in the oceans, we can end up with these huge masses of plastics. The most well-known is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is thought to be even larger than the state of Texas. However, it's difficult to estimate the size since it's a huge area and the marine debris is constantly moving with ocean currents. This is also why it's so challenging to remove the pieces of garbage from the ocean. Plastic pollution can be a bummer for both people and for animals. If you see a plastic water bottle floating next to you as you're enjoying a swim at the lake, it can definitely impact your experience, and it can also be dangerous. We also do beach cleanups here around the Chicago area, and 85% of the litter that we pick up is plastic. Shedd has done a lot to reduce our use of single-use plastic right here for our visitors and for our staff. We no longer offer straws, and that's in part because about 500 million straws are used here in America every day. We also have eliminated plastic lids and plastic bags in our cafe and our gift shop. We also are doing more and more recycling and more composting. We're really trying to keep as much waste as possible away from the landfill. One little change can have a big impact for animals and the waterways that you love. Shed single-use plastics and take a big step toward a cleaner world.
So that's enough for films, isn't it? You have watched enough of those. So
Here it comes.
that one I don't know. Now, what have you seen now, finally? We have, this one has just shown us something about what we can do. Did you notice anything? Huyu mwenye analala kama nini, kama jatel. Gonga huyo. He was sleeping like a jatel. Mtero wapi? So, what did these people tell us we can do with the bottles and what we should not do? Who can tell us? You are the one who will say something first. So.
Okay, I said that we can eliminate use of, for example, they have used an example of a straw, so that 500 million straws are being used in America every day. So them as Shade Aquarium, they have eliminated the use of plastics and they reuse, they recompose.
That's good. They eliminate, like if you have like here, instead of serving people with bottled water, maybe you have invited guests. People think it is like ati wewe ni mtu wa class, ukikunywa maji na hii, alafu unatupa nje kama mjinga. Unakuwa mtu wa class kukunywa nayo, lakini unatupa nje kama nini? Kama mjinga, si ndio? So you are two in one. So instead of serving people in this, you can put them in some pots, containers. Let people drink from glass. For example, there is a meeting I went to. This is aqua mist. You have seen water aqua mist. They also produce with this one. This one is aqua vapor. Nowadays they can even start anything. This is aqua vapor. But there's also aqua mist for plastic. Now, instead of producing what everyone is producing with plastic, they are doing the bottles, this one. It is the same one as this, but they are putting in the bottle. So, if Aga had given me this one, I would have not carried it, because there are so many. But I carried this one, first because it looks beautiful, isn't it? I'm the only one who has it in this village so far. Then, now, I can use it for any other thing. Like a priest, I was thinking, suppose I put wine here and water. Then that is already, I'm using it for something else. So I don't throw it away. If you are not a priest, you can also keep something else here, like oil ya kupika. Mnapenda tu chakula, mnaweza kuweka oil ya kupika hapa, si ndio? Ama ukipewa soda, mtu akikununulia soda na utaki kubeba chupa yake, unaweka hapa, alafu unaweka kwa bagi yako ya shule na unaenda, badala ya kuenda na chupa, alafu unaambiwa ati you have to pay some extra money for that. So there are options. You avoid this and you take this. Like bread also, the ones you are eating. Since you are not the one who wrapped them in those polythenes, if you are given bread, remove bread and throw those ones in the one place. Someone should have offered and then put them there. You're saying you throw them in the dustbin. I'm trying to look for that dustbin. Where is it? So that is another problem. Because if you don't find where to throw it close, you will throw it somewhere between where they are thrown. And so what should you do? You make sure the dustbin is close to where you are eating bread, isn't it? So that is the solution they are giving us. Now, if we go to these ones, these are bottles, both of them, isn't it? Which one of these is more original? This or this? This is original. This is the bottle. This is a bottle, plastic bottle. Now, if someone tells you that you have given him or her a plastic smile, what does that mean? Fake. Nyaro marwondro. Kitu fake. Inakaa poa lakini sio fake. Change. Nataka tu akuonyesha ati amesmile lakini akitoka hivi yeye asmile anymore. Like if you have a plastic relationship, what does it mean? Hiyo ya kujifanya fake relationship. Mtu mwenye anajifanya akienda kukutana na msichana anavaa vizuri kacheti yake, anaomba hata nguo, hapo fake. Alafu baadaye anarudisha anakuwa real akiwa peke yake na vitu vyake. So whoever is plastic is a fake substance. So if you are that kind that tries to please the other person and to tell people or to show people that which you are not, you come from a poor family, you want to show people you are coming from a rich family, maybe your name is called Wanga by mistake, you say that is my mother, and Wanga doesn't have a child like you. So you want to associate with big people. Maybe you come from from Ndco here, and then when you go to school, you say you are a Nairobian, you come from Nairobi, you are plastic. You know, people who have this plastic self. So if you have that plastic smile, plastic relationship, including plastic surgery, you have had plastic surgery? Yeah, someone who is very ugly can make his or her face look very beautiful through a process called plastic surgery. Or you accident no mini bam dog conic. I took a plastic surgery and look ni godoka. Or kumi more original, you also need plastic morumochal food. Then you are just the same. You've seen many people and you need to have money to do that. It is very expensive to do plastic surgery because plastic things are very expensive to have. It is cheaper to buy this now, but it is very expensive to treat the diseases that come with them. If you swallow this thing, do you think you can eat again? If you swallow this plastic in your stomach, you will just feel like you are full all the time, so the appetite will not come. That is what happens also when they go to the lake, down to the lake. Fish swallow this one, so they eventually die out of starvation. Ama mnafikiri tu ni Mackenzie ndiye anakuwa watu na starvation. Hata hii. Watu wakikula, hata fish wakila, then down there you find they are entangled. They feel like they are full, so they don't need to eat, so they die. And I don't know how many of you would wish to eat dead fish. And most of this plastic end up in water because water forms how many percentage of the what? 7, isn't it? Now, which means most part of our world is actually water. So it doesn't matter how much you think you've thrown it away on top of the hill, it will still find its way in some water somewhere. And to the extent that they find their way somewhere in water, that is how the problem begins. And you have heard, maybe in towns mostly, where people keep on throwing this kind of things. They also block the water lines so that water cannot go through. And that's why you see a lot of floodings in certain places. And here we talk of the floods that are caused by rivers and rains. But imagine the floods that are caused from the sewages. Watu wamefanya mambo yao, wameharahara kila pahali, alafu wewe umeblock kwenye inatakana zipitie, alafu what happens? It comes back to your house. Then who dies? So you see, sometimes people with very serious vehicles, big vehicles, then from that window, they also have that culture. They drink their classic water and they throw comfortably outside. Shame on them, isn't it? Yeah, there was a time it was said that when you are seen throwing anything outside, then you would be forced to clean the whole city by yourself, and that culture should happen. So these plastics are dangerous. They are dangerous to your health. They are dangerous to the health of the animals. They are dangerous to the health of every living thing. And the reason why, even in our government here, the Kenyan government, it was decided that we no longer use the plastic papers. You know them. You might have seen them. Those of Tuskies, the ones used to get from supermarket, Nakumat. You remember them? Or you are not yet born. How many were born and were able to see Nakumat? There used to be a supermarket called Nakumat. How many heard about it from the parents? Now, there used to be, each time you go to buy things, they pack for you those things in the polythene. And since they were given for free, then now people went and threw them wherever. And these ones formed the more major part of wastes, not papers, but these ones. So you go to certain places, especially in the cities or in the towns, you find piles of them that they have not just been put there intentionally, but they have been thrown everywhere. And when it rains, water pushes them to some place where they stop. And in that place now, it becomes rotten, but it also becomes a disaster. Imagine if those things come to your home. The smell and so many things. You know, some of us will think whatever comes from outside is nice, isn't it? Like this water. Kuna huyu mzungu, hao wazungu watu walikuwa na pitia hivi, they were passing by somewhere. And then somebody put something in the polythene and threw out. So all the villagers there ran for that polythene, because they thought whatever Muzungu has thrown out must be nice, isn't it? Wakapigana kufungua hivyo wanafanya, kumbe ni mtoto walijisaidia, wakaweka hapo wakatupa. So they were fighting over somebody's work. Yeah. So not all that we get, whether from Europe, whether from Nairobi, well, even if you see everyone, if you don't have bottled water now, you think like you are a low class. No. Many people who understand what health is, they go for natural things. For example, today any hotel, if you go and you ask for kienyeji, a lot of pork, amusuga, it is more expensive than sukuma. Do you know that? You have gone to those hotels, isn't it? And you have seen how they are expensive. Which hotel was that? So why are they more expensive than the other ones? If you go to hotel and you say you want meat which is boiled, not fried, it becomes hot cake. Everyone wants that one, because it is natural than those that are fried the way we eat fried things. Sometimes you go to the market and then we see these people roasting and frying chicken. Inaenda hivi kwa town. Ngapi wanasoma kwa town, au unasoma village what? Ukiona nini na alafu olapilu ama alafu unaanza kutaka. Then unakula na chips unaongeza ndani yake, sasa unasikia vizuri. Now even some of those oils that have been recycled to the extent that they have become like plastic. So when you consume, then they form a base in your stomach that they cannot be digested. And once it cannot be digested, you are too young and you are having a very big stomach. And you are shapeless. You are too fat and ugly. You look like GMO. You know GMO? GMO. You're so fat that no one recognizes you. When people are running, you get tired before even me. And then you wonder, this one, when was it born? But when you take natural things, natural fresh things, then you are safe. The best way to do that is by going the natural way, getting away from the plastic. So do we agree that we are going to avoid plastics? Are we agreeing today? Okay. Now that you don't have the power to tell the world powers not to produce them, because there are people who are responsible. Recycling does not mean crushing them again. These bottles, instead of throwing them away, you can keep them and use them for something else, even at home. I've seen some homes, some places, they have used these bottles to design some art. Have you seen? Very beautiful. Those who have smartphone, I would have looked for it somewhere to show you how they are. They have used it to design something that when you go, it is a decoration. So they are not thrown away, but they look like a flower at home. So if you find a reason to use this one, so instead of throwing them away, you'll even be going around to pick them. Some people have used these ones, maybe those who sell oil. Hiyo ya kupima, mnakumbuka? Let me see if I can get something like this. Mnanunuanga oil ya kupima, kama ya packet. I don't know whether I'm getting it. I don't know whether I'll get something like that. What do you think I'll get? If I don't get no, it is not there. So let us leave it alone. I'll look for it somewhere. So you as young people, how many of you like art? Do art in school? Drawing or doing some designs? How many? Victor, do you do some art? So instead of throwing away things, you look for other ways of using them as young people. Because when it comes to deciding what should be used and what should not be used, then maybe you don't have the power to stop people from from doing what? Yeah. You cannot stop people from changing this culture. Another thing you can do is, as a group, you have seen like what this one is doing. I don't know whether it is there. They are saying, he's saying that he had cleaned the ocean, isn't it?
This doesn't really...
You can form groups and try to do something in terms of like, we are going to clean our rivers.
And I mean bad stuff with the capital B bad stuff to our environment. And now, so many years later, it seems like we're exactly in the same spot. But the thing is, this isn't just old footage. And I took this old camera with me to really document everything that's going on here. And I'm going to show you what we all did about this place. This is Isham, the dirtiest river in Europe. And we're going to clean it up, or at least try to clean it up. Hey guys, and welcome to Plan B, because Plan A, well, clearly something isn't working. I'm Tom, and in this video, I want to tell you the story of plastic, a lot of plastic, and the eye-opening moment that made me rethink a lot of my personal choices. Is everywhere I look, everywhere I go, I see fucking plastic everywhere. But before we get there, I think it's important to understand why Albania has such a big problem with plastic. Who is cleaning it up?
I particularly wrote trash talk. Come on, it's a good one.
This is my friend Christian, who I also met in Albania. And as a local, I think he has a bit more insight into the matter.
Well, obviously there are different factors that have affected the waste management here in Albania. Going out of the communism regime is hard. That is seen in the way people act with trash. You yourself came to the center of my city, Durrës, and probably saw the way the trash was being handled, and how there is a contrast of the beauty of the coastal city vibes and the ugliness of the trash beasts. They will all end up in landfills, which are running out of space. That's why you see places like KOCHIA, a beach, being used as a landfill, which is sad. There need to be this system of dividing trash in categories in every family, in every city for this to work. It's a big circulation of excuses coming from the government, to the people, to the industries, and so on. It's sad. It's sad because it's this vicious circle that comes and goes again and again. There are a lot of others.
Luckily, there's the help of the guys at River Cleanup with a pretty simple goal: to free our rivers and riverbanks of waste with helping hands and smart technologies while changing people's behavior. Now, I got to see that in practice, and their approach is also super easy to understand. Awareness in action. See it and then do something about it. This is a little bit wobbly and it's going to be a little bit warm, but I think the first step here is really to educate the people. And something the founder of the River Cleanup project told me really stuck with me.
We started with cleanup and cleaning up, but it's not a solution. Yeah, you can clean, but the tap is open, the water keeps running. So with this system, we try to close the tap.
And to help us with that, we called in the support of future generations. Kids. Only the adults were like you, that would be so much fun.
We are not going to change Albania, but the people that can change this country and that change the pollution in your country, it's you, all of you.
All of you.
I think I would say y'all should work together and try to be more careful. Nature needs our help.
So how the school project works is these kids bring plastic from their homes to school, where it gets collected into big bags. When those are full, they eventually go to a sorting facility to be shredded into plastic flakes. Those flakes are then sold to be used again in future plastic products that you and me use. But the money, it just goes back into the project. For example, to buy these bins and place them in public places. That means there's now a model that brings in financial motives for more waste to be collected, which turns awareness into action. These are the things that you just don't think about when you're drinking from a plastic bottle. That like this is the place this is going to end up, and I mean this is not just here in Albania. This is everywhere.
So the problem now is like we cleaned all of that, but unless there's like a really great system here in Albania to put all of those things together to get all the plastic from the rivers to get them to like these recycled spots, the problem will keep existing. That's what we're trying to fix here.
And as luck would have it, we actually got a call to meet the mayor to see what those solutions could be.
Yes,
do you know where to go?
This way.
Sulo.
Sulo.
Where we lost our drive.
So if these people,
Well, let me tell you one thing.
they are not
Albania
just worried
is
about plastic,
super awesome.
but they are asking
People
themselves,
are
what
super
can we
awesome,
do?
but it's
And you see the young people like you, only that they are white.
lifestyles. Not as busy as the people in Belgium are.
And this one is your regiment, only that is bigger. The other one, this one is your
We
regiment.
do know there's a workshop. Maybe we can turn this thing a little bit around.
So good morning, everybody. Thanks for allowing us here to do this event.
So I was thinking and then we end up in a workshop where everybody who's working with waste management, plastic collection, is there. So the director of environment is here, many people from the ministry and from the city. So
It just all works out in the end. It's just a trust process, right?
So
I think that's enough for you. So, in other words, many people are talking about plastic waste and the rest. They are talking about environment and they think planting tree is enough. But very few people are taking action. We have seen awareness and action. So it is not enough to talk about plastic is bad, that cutting down trees is bad, but it is also ask ourselves, what am I doing? Because we are told change begins with who? With who? Not me, you. Just point yourself. Change begins with what? You are the what, isn't it? Okay, change begins with myself. So, if you are walking maybe along the road and you find there are wastes that are misplaced, especially of the plastic, you don't pass and begin to blame the governor and the MP and the MCA that why are these things, I wish these things could be removed. By who? You are the one who should begin by removing them. The moment you stop by and say, today, this bottle that I have found someone has thrown here, instead of passing it and saying that I'm not the one who threw it, you will go and pick it. And then another person will see you doing it and carrying so many of those bottles, and maybe throwing them in the right place. Then they will do the same. But if the other people, when they find someone has thrown a bottle or a plastic somewhere or waste, they also come and throw it in the same place until it is full. That one is bad thinking. If somebody is doing a wrong thing has been done, you don't do it because others have done, but you want to do it so that others can do the right thing. But the good people, they'll always like, even if you are so much in a hurry, and you think, you say that this will end up in some water somewhere. It will harm me, it will harm my brother, my mother, my friend somewhere. It may not even be directly a harm to you, but if it harms any of your relatives, it is already harming you. So that's why we are calling upon everyone, like young people like you, that you take more initiative so that you don't take things for granted. I'm sure by now you know very well that plastic waste is something dangerous, that if it is thrown everywhere and it ends in wrong places, even with the cows, can they survive? Yeah. Yeah, many times if you give if you make the young chamojuala, then that one will die. It will die. Even you, such a moment, people know, even in our language, that if you consume this, you don't grow, because this thing ties and entangles your intestines such that you do not only die, but before you die, you also have a lot of pain. And to help you, it might be too late, because even that operation through which you'll be helped will be too much. That's why we find a lot of sicknesses, that you find someone is sick and you don't know what we are suffering from. Because the particles, as what you have been saying, that the microplastics, the small pieces of plastics, they could be in this water. You could be drinking this water every day, and it would not make immediate effect on you, but after some time, you'll find yourself sick, and then your sickness cannot even be placed by any doctor. So the easiest way that we have to do what you need, prevention is better than what? Yeah, prevention is better than cure. For us here who are still alive and still healthy as you look, you can take care of your health and take care of the health of the other people by engaging in this environmental cleanup. As a group today, maybe next year when you come, or even when you go to your schools, don't wait to be mobilized to do it. You can initiate a group and say, not just environmental group, but you say like this group, they call themselves what? River cleanup. And you can name yourself anything, like you make a campaign, like plastic what? Collector, not tax collector. Call yourself anything. And you say plastic collection initiative. And then you become a champion. That's how people become champions. You remember Karura Forest. You've heard of Karura Forest. Who do you remember whenever you think of Karura Forest? Wangare? Madai. Isn't it? And there is another garden in Nairobi called Mishuki Garden. And you are called who? Samuel who? Umbe Garden. You can also start an Umbe Garden if you start something, so that you are not just speaker. People will remember that this Umbe is the one who helped us to clean this river. There's a pond here, isn't it, where people go to bathe. The other place here. You know this place where they bathe? Yeah. Sometimes it could be very dirty maybe. But if you take initiative and say, I would like to make sure that I protect this pond because it is helping many people. Then you start a group of young people, if you are coming from around. It would be great. In your school, you can say, maybe we can start a group, and everybody in school, the leaders, will be very happy with you, because today, all over the world, people are focused on environmental care. And whoever takes care of environment is an important person. If you want to be a great person, if you want to be a champion, if you want to be somebody who will be remembered, then you better begin. Don't wait until you are old, then you remember that I should have done it. Now you have opportunity, and I'm glad that you have been able to organize this particular thing. So I see, how many are you today? Can you be 100?
100.
Yeah?
We are 100 plus.
100 plus. Yeah, you're many. In fact, you are almost 1,000. Are you 1,000? Because if I divide here, can be 100, 100. You are many. So you can imagine wherever you will go after this, and wherever you will be, if you can make just a little change, and don't just begin by inviting people. This year it is plastic. Next year it would be something else. If you spend the rest of this year till next year just trying to put things right, maybe your friend will follow you. It is very easy to be influenced by the njaga smokers. Wengine wanakuwa this peer influence. It is very strong when people in friends used to smoke or to smoke the other one. But you can be a peer influencer positively by influencing your age mates, your friends, towards doing this right thing. If you have to have any friends this year, make friends who are going to help you to think like with you on issues regarding the ending of the pollution or plastic pollution. They are all over. They're in our schools. When you go for sport, they're all over. The sweets we take, you take lollipop. It is called lollipop. This round thing with a leg. You know it. Yeah, those things you eat and then you throw. Your pens, like the one sister is carrying here. Sister, you raise it up. This one. That one, where do you throw them? It annoys sometimes you find you are writing with it, then you get so annoyed that you throw it away. Because you are annoyed with the pen, isn't it? But when you throw it away, you are going to destroy the life of someone else because of your anger. Tunasema kwa Kiswahili, ile ya samaki, nasemagaje? Samaki ya nini? Furaha ya kitu, nini ya nini ya furaha? Furaha ya muhimu. Sasa nyinyi mjui hii kitu bwana, nyinyi mnasoma Kiswahili. Sambusa, nani Michael tuambia? Like, you know, I know how to explain it. I don't know. You find fish, you want to get fish out of the lake, isn't it? Nataka kushika. Alafu fish anakasirika mpaka nakula hiyo. Hii inakuwa furaha ya nani? Mvua. Inakuwa furaha yake. So, sometimes you think you're throwing a pen, but you are making the diseases happy because then they are the customers. So we can avoid all this, and if there are any questions, ask me now. I think you have none. Have you learned enough about plastics? Yes. Do you think they are good or bad? Do you think we can do something about it? Yes. Good. Now ask me questions, then we end up. Any ana maswali? Or else I'll ask you very difficult questions, beginning from you. So if you are okay and you have understood that one, so it is action. So go out and begin action. Don't wait for anyone to tell you. You might even have teachers in school and they don't understand about what we have talked about because they have never taken step. So don't wait for them to tell you. You might do something that will also teach them something new. Because I know the teachers will be very happy to know that their students are interested in issues of environment. So don't be afraid. How many are from Bakita? Simama. Ni mnakulanga nini kila siku? Fish. Why do you throw your, when you eat bread from that place? Yeah, dustbin. You're sure they go to the dustbin? Okay, that's good. So the teacher do that. Which other school is here? Where is your school? Yeah, HOMA Bay. Do something about HOMA Bay too. Where is your school? KOCHIA. Do something about KOCHIA. You can all do something. So we agree we are going to do something. How many are going to do something about plastics? 20. Now. So, thank you very much. God bless you for listening and continue learning. If you happen to get any like this phone, even if you steal your parents, don't steal, just take when they are there. Instead of looking for other things, you can Google and check plastic pollution. What can I? You just write what you want and it will be there. So then you can check them all the time. Then they will help you to know much more than we have just learned today. God bless you.
Okay, before further goes, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you very much, Father, for accepting our invitation to come and talk to our dear friends who are here. And I believe that as you listen attentively, you are going to not only share the awareness to other people, but also be action-oriented. So, we want to choose someone to
clap for me.
Give Father
a
big, a big gigantic clap for the good work that he has done by sharing with us the importance of us stopping plastic pollution. And you remember, we said it begins with me. We don't point a finger to anybody. Sawa sawa? So, I will invite Lazarus. So Lazarus, come. And give it your very best. Sawa sawa? So Lazarus, feel most welcome.
Thank you.
As Father is coming. And you let Father receive the clap very well.
Yeah.
So wait, he's just on his way down. You can begin by telling us what you need to do so that when that time comes, we are well ready for the clap.
Good morning, guys.
What are we for your clap?
I'm coming. Coming for the clap.
Yes. As Father is coming, I want us to prepare ourselves for the clap that we will be giving. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. We are going to give Father 5 factorials. I think that is the best. That's good. So 5 factorials. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. And then the last one, which is 1, you clap and give him to him. Are we together? Yeah. Can we warm? Can we warm? I'm not seeing somebody warming. Can we warm? Can we warm? Can we warm? Open, open, open. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you also. I'll clap for you.
Okay. So at this juncture, what will follow? I remember Abbas shared with you where you are going. So at this juncture, we are going to plant the trees. And you remember where you were told. Cindy? Yes. So that is where you will be heading to. So you collect your trees there. If you are planting fruit trees, you collect them from there. You go to your area where you are planting. Sawa sawa? Thank you. So maybe Abbas, you'll begin with those who are going down there, so that we go in order.
Yeah, the group of the fruits where we have John Odibore, Solomon Ogindo, David Onyanga. As I call you, please just come out.
Pigeni na ngoma zete, chezeni vinanda pia tarumbeta. Pigeni makofi, pigeni na ngoma zete, chezeni vinanda pia tarumbeta. Ni Mungu mwenyewe aliyeifanya siku hii. Karamu tunayoisherehekea ndiye aliyeifanya. Ni Mungu mwenyewe aliyeifanya siku hii. Karamu tunayoisherehekea Mipango ya Mungu enyi wenzetu ni kamilifu, hamna yeyote awezaye kweli kuibadili. Mipango ya Mungu enyi wenzetu ni kamilifu, hamna yeyote awezaye kweli kuibadili. Ni furaha kubwa, vigelegele vya shangwe kwake Mungu Baba kutufikisha siku hii. Ni furaha kubwa, vigelegele vya shangwe kwake Mungu Baba kutufikisha siku hii.